Hi there, today's episode is all about summer colorwork teas. We'll cover patterns, yarns, and tips for knitting light and colorful teas perfect for the warmer weather. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Knitting by the Bay. My name is Christy, and this podcast is mostly about knitting with some other crafts mixed in from time to time. Thanks for joining me to talk all about handmade. In today's episode, I'm covering 10 summer knitting colorwork patterns that have caught my eye. And then I wanted to update you on one of these projects that I have just cast on recently. So let's dive in. So as usual, I will be including lots of pictures along with the pattern names and the designer name up on the screen. And then I will also link down below to the bundle for my summer colorwork patterns on Ravelry. So let's begin with pattern number 1, and this is the Lume Tea. This is a pattern by Sori Nordland, and it's a light fingering plus light fingering, so equals DK top, knit on US 6 or 4mm needles. The sizes for this one range from 78 to 166 centimeters, or 30.75 to 65.25 inches. And the suggested yarn for this is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. So the Lume Tea is a seamless top-down knit with a stranded colorwork yoke featuring built-in increases. The sleeves and body are split at the underarms and work separately. And it also has a double folded hems and cuffs to create this neat finish. The neckline is also completed with an I-cord. And I absolutely love this pattern. I knit the sweater version of this one, and I had so much fun with it. So when I knit the sweater version, I used Woolstock worsted yarn for that. So I think that it would be a lot of fun to knit a summer version of this using that recommended yarn, the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I was looking at the colors and I thought that using like a dove blue for the main color and then sort of an off-white for the color work would look really cute. All right, pattern number 2 is the Soul Mosaic Tea. This is a pattern by Claudia Quintanilla from Unit Toronto. It's a fingering weight top knit on US 2.5 or 3mm needles. The sizes for this range between extra small to 4XL, and the suggested yarn is Pasquale Pinta. So this is a seamless one-piece boat neck sweater that's knit top down in the round using a modular mosaic stitch. It features short row shaping and positive ease for a comfortable fit, and it's worked without seams, it says. So what I like about this, I like the construction of the top. I really like a wide boat neck, and I think the color work is really unique. I've never done mosaic color work before, so this might be the pattern to try. I like also how all the edges of the top, so the neck, the sleeves, and the hem, all have, they're all done with a row or two of contrast color. I think that looks really nice and polished and gives a really unique look to this top. All right, pattern number 3 is called In the Garden. This is a pattern by Jessica McDonald. It's a light fingering weight top knit on US 3 or 3.25mm needles. The sizes range from 35.25 to 64 inches. The suggested yarn for this is Holst Garn Super Soft. This top is knit seamlessly from the top down, starting at the back neck, and then there are shoulder shaping with increases. The front stitches are then picked up from the back shoulders, and it says there is a crew neckline simply shaped at the front. The body is then knit in the round, and there is a floral color work just above the hem. It has a cropped length to it, so you could wear it with high-waisted pants or dresses, but you could easily adjust that because it's knit top down, so you could adjust to whatever length you would prefer it to be. And then it's finished off with some short sleeves. So I think the color work on this tee is beautiful. I think it's so pretty that it's placed just along the bottom hem. I've seen so many colorwork tops that are colorwork yokes, so this is a little bit different that it's just down at the bottom by the hem. But you could also use this pattern just to knit a simple, just basic, goes with anything tee. Pattern number 4 is the Alpine Bloom. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. It is a fingering weight top knit on US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needles. And the sizes for this range from 36 to 68 inches or 91.5 to 173 centimeters. The suggested yarn is spin cycle yarns dyed in the wool. So that would be for the flowers, the colorwork flowers. And then you would use a solid color for the main body. And I think that one was Moondrake Company Pika Pika. So the Alpine Bloom is a light summer tee knit from the top down. It features this sweet lacy neckline as well as these lacy sleeves too. And it features a Scandinavian inspired floral colorwork yoke. And then it has short rows to work the back neck for an improved fit. And the sleeves, that lacy part on the sleeves is knit separately. And then you will, what does it say? It's knit separately and then you're going to graft those sleeves on. And instructions are given for lengthening the body as desired. And also if you wanted to skip that lacy sleeve, you could just knit it as a basic rib sleeve cuff, and there's instructions for that as well. So I actually made this top, I think it was 2 years ago I made it, or was it last year? And I really enjoyed knitting that colorwork. It was so much fun. But I had chosen to use Sandnesgarn Tin Lina for this, and I really didn't like how that turned out. I didn't enjoy the colorwork using that yarn. I enjoyed following the chart, but using that yarn to knit colorwork, I did not like. And I don't like the way that the top turned out. I have never worn it. And that is because it is also, I chose a size too small for me. And so especially the sleeves on it are very small and uncomfortable. So I don't like the way that it turned out, unfortunately. I did decide to do mine with just a plain neckline without the lace and plain sleeves, just regular ribbing. And yeah, so if I were to knit this again, I did see a lot of projects on there using knitting for olives, cotton, merino, and I would really like to use that. I've never tried that before, so I think that I would really like to use that for this top. I love the color red currant. I don't think that it really suits me, but I could imagine a really cute top using the red currant as the main color and then cream for the color work. I think that will look super cute. All right, pattern number 5 is the Bonfire Tea. This is a pattern by Samantha Guerin, and it's a fingering weight top knit on US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needles. These sizes range from 32 to 68 inches or 81.5 to 172.5 centimeters. And she suggests using the Wool Dreamers sauna yarn. I'm probably saying that wrong. But yeah, that's the suggested yarn. So the Bonfire Tea is knit seamlessly from the top down. The neckline is cast on, and then short rows are worked to raise the back of the neck for a comfortable fit. The colorwork yoke is knit, then the body and sleeves are separated and worked from the top down. And what I like about this tee, I think it's the perfect mix of like fun color work, but then with a very effortless style to the top. I think that the bold, eye-catching yoke gives it a very unique look, while the relaxed fit to the top makes it very wearable and easy to style for summertime. Number 6 is the Cloudberry Tea. This is a pattern by Fiber Tales. It is a fingering weight top knit on US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needles. The sizes range from extra small to 4XL, and the suggested yarn is Woolberry Fiber Company Berry Natural. So this top is knit from the top down, starting with the back. The front is picked up and knit after the back is finished, or the back has been started, and then it's worked in the round after the armholes. The body length is easily adjustable, and the sleeves feature this really pretty simple two-color work on it, but it also includes some baubles to give it some texture, and I think that's really, really cute. So I love this tee for the sweet, like boxy shape of it, and then these charming little cloudberries on the sleeves. The top down construction makes it easy to adjust the length. And I think that this simple, like 2-color motif would be pretty easy to knit, and it's quick because it's only on the sleeves, but then you have those baubles to add some like fun and texture to it. And there's not a lot of baubles because they're just around the sleeves. So you do get that cute look without having to do like 100 baubles. All right, pattern number 7 is the Pier 39. This is a pattern by Isabel Kramer. It's a fingering weight top knit on US 3 or 3.25 millimeter needles. And the sizes range from 39 to 63.75 inches or 97 to 159 centimeters. And the suggested yarn is Twisted Willow Merino Linen Singles. And she also has put down Yarnity Seal. I don't know what that yarn is. And so this is a seamless top down again construction. There are short rows for this one as well to shape the neck. And then the yoke is worked in rounds until you reach the width of your shoulders. And then the front and back are knit separately to the underarm, and then they're joined in the underarm and worked in the round to the hem. And stitches are picked up for, it says short row sleeve ribbing. I'm not sure what that is. And then the neckline is left unfinished. Just like a lot of Isabel Kramer's patterns have this sort of unfinished neckline or hems or cuffs or something. She has that very laid back, relaxed sort of style that I think is really cool. So I love the Pier 39 tee because it's sort of inspired by that, timeless Breton type shirt. And I think that makes it like a perfect summer staple. And the seamless top-down construction, I think, gives it a very clean and polished look and has very, simple sort of details to it, like the unfinished neckline. It keeps it effortlessly modern and easy to wear. Pattern number 8 is the Sealass Tea. This is a pattern by Woolen Pine. It is a fingering weight top knit on US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needles. And the sizes range from 37 to 68 inches. And it says like the Sealass can be knit using different amounts of yarn, like different grams of fingering weight stash yarn. So you can use up any of your leftovers or your mini skeins or whatever you want to knit this top. And then you just weigh how much you have left over and see if you can use that in the top. And you can also get very creative and hold 2 strands of yarn together if you wanted to add mohair to certain sections of this top, whatever you want to create a very unique effect. So this top is knit top down with a seamless construction. It's really great for using up all of your scraps, and it has a very relaxed fit with short sleeves. It has a very fun 1x1 colorwork pattern, so it makes it really easy to do something very creative with different colors. It's very beginner friendly, they say, and versatile. And this is a really great point. There are no ends to weave in. It says it's completely reversible with no ends to weave in. I don't know how they do that, but that's what it says in the pattern. And what I like about this tea, I love the Sealass tea because it's the ultimate stash buster, and it lets you get creative with all of your fingering weight leftover yarns and minis. And I think that fun 1x1 color work pattern makes it every single version very unique because you can change up, within one line of like one row of knitting, you can change it up so many different ways. And I love that it's completely reversible with no ends to weave in. That's awesome. And I like the relaxed fit with the short sleeves and a very easy top-down construction. Makes it very wearable, makes it very easy to knit and adjust for whatever length you would like. And I think it's a project that celebrates, creativity. And, I love how every single top tells its own color story. All right, pattern number 9 is called Nice. This is a pattern by Anne Wenzel. It's a lace plus fingering weight top, so a DK top, knit on US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needles. And the sizes available for this one are small to extra large. The suggested yarn is Isager Alpaca 1 and Isager Hor Organic. So I believe the last one there is a linen blend yarn, and then she's held it together with the alpaca yarn. So this is a very simple t-shirt silhouette with a forward shoulder line. It has a top-down construction, and then it's worked in the round. There's short rows to shape the neckline as well. The front and back are worked separately to the armhole, then joined and knit in the round. The sleeves are picked up later, then shaped with short rows as well, and then knit in the round to the cuffs. And I like this tee for its clean, simple silhouette with, like, it's a very flattering shape to this top. The top-down construction makes it easy to customize. There's short row shaping to give it a great fit. And I think it's a very classic design that's comfortable and elegant. I could see it being, more casual, worn with some, denim shorts or linen pants or something, or you could dress it up and make it a little bit more classy with some, trousers or something like that. All right, pattern number 10 are the itty bitty berry socks. So this is my last pattern. This is a sock pattern, and it's by the designer Stone Knits. It's a light fingering weight sock knit on US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter needles, and there's 3 sizes available for this pattern. So the suggested yarn I will not be able to pronounce, so I'm going to put it up on the screen here so you can read it yourself. And yeah, so these are an adorable pair of Colorwork socks, perfect for the summertime. They're an ankle sock that will look really cute with some sandals, I think. And they have a very pretty picot edge around them, which I absolutely love. And this adorable strawberry motif. The heel for these socks is a short row heel. I was inspired to knit a pair of these socks because my family and I just recently went strawberry picking. And so I wanted to make something super cute and strawberry themed. So I decided to cast on these socks. I also really need to practice my colorwork sock knitting technique and use some of those great tips that I received from you guys after I posted my 2025 sock roundup video, the last one, which I will link down below if you're interested in seeing that. And so here are my itty bitty berry socks. I've got them in my little Japanese knot bag that I made on the last episode. This is a really cute sewing pattern from Indigo Bird. You can find her on Etsy. But yeah, here are my itty bitty socks. So I will show you the yarns that I'm using first. I am using Filcolana Arwetta, and these are the 3 colors I chose. And so this one is Marzipan, this is Chinese Red, and this is Juicy Green. So I thought that that would be the perfect combo for these cute strawberry socks. And I'll show you what I've got so far. It's not a lot, but you can see it has this really adorable picot edge that is in the contrast color. So you knit a few rows in your main color, and then you switch to your contrast color and you do a row of like yarn overs and stuff. And then you do another row in your contrast color, and then you go back to knit a few more rows in your main color. And then you continue to knit down the sock. And then later you come back and you fold the cuff over and you stitch it down with like a whip stitch. But I wanted to do mine. I wanted to see how it would look, so I did mine ahead of time and wanted to show you guys how it would look. So it's super cute. I love this picot. The picot edge, I love that it's like a double folded hem on it. It's very stretchy, but also like very firm. And then I've got a row of strawberries done. So what I've been doing, and I think that these are turning out much better than my last pair of socks that I knit Colorwork, my lobster socks. I just feel like the tension is so much better on these. So all I've been doing is just when I'm going, like after I knit a contrasting, like one of the color stitches and I go back to my main color, I make sure that I really tug the stitches down on the needle, and then I knit the next stitch so that my floats are very, like, not super loose, but they're not super tight and pulling the fabric together which was causing all of those tension problems. So I think that that's been working really well. Another thing that I don't really like about my lobster socks that I made, I think they're very cute, but I don't like the fit of them because I feel like they're just too loose on me. And I can see the difference because you knit some rows of just plain in the main color and you use the 2.25 millimeter needle to do the ribbing and some of that non-color work section. And then you switch over, you bump it up a needle size to 2.5 millimeter needle, and then you start knitting the color work, which is suggested many times when knitting color work to go up a needle size. But when I do that, I feel like this just gets a little too loose looking, and possibly I'm a bit of a looser knitter. I'm not too sure, but I think it looks kind of sloppy for me anyway. And so I just continued on using the 2.25 millimeter needle that I used for the cuff, and just continued on with the color work, just making sure that I really stretch it out and keep those floats nice and loose so it's not bunching up. And I think that that's working really good. I'm liking the way that they look. I have tried them on to make sure I can get it over my heel, and so far I have been able to. It's been fine. So fingers crossed it's going to turn out okay and they're going to be able to fit on like over my heel when they're all finished. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Oh, I did talk about last time. I had knit the lobster socks using double pointed needles, and I thought that that was going to be my go-to way of knitting socks, but I actually don't think that they turned out better at all doing it with the double pointed needles. So I've returned again to the magic loop, and it is a lot easier to knit because you're only, changing sides one time instead of changing needles one time instead of changing like 4 times around with the double pointed needles. So it is a bit of a smoother knitting experience and a little bit quicker too. So I'm really happy with how that's going. So this pattern has a short row heel to it, and I really didn't like knitting the short row heel, and I didn't love the way that it looked, to be honest. So I am just going to swap that out and do my favorite heel flap and gusset for these ones, which is no big deal. You can do whatever heel you want to do. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Thanks for joining me on this episode all about summer colorwork tees. I hope you're able to find some inspiration from some of these patterns to add a little color and fun to your summer wardrobe. And until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our 2 outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you.